Jaclyn, it's so great to see you. Thank you so much for inviting us into the Create and Cultivate offices. They're beautiful.
Thank you. We're so excited to have you.
So you are the CEO and the founder of Create and Cultivate. Tell a bit about wellness and how that's important in your life.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crucial. I think, I work 100+ hour weeks all the time, and I don't mind that. I really like it in terms of like where I'm at in my life. That being said, I'm 33. I'm, obviously getting older in a lot of different ways, and obviously you change, your body changed, your whole, sort of mentality starts to change over time. So I think for me, it's really just been about like figuring out how I can decompress, and especially when I'm home because I'm on the road so often, or kind of figuring out that flying, it's so brutal, like on your body. So for me, I've learned to extend stays. I used to want to get in and out as quick as possible, and then I realized that extra day of sort of decompressing from whether it's an event or an appearance or whatever it is so important because I'm able to kind of get on the flight and feel like refreshed as opposed to a dead body just like in a chair. So for me, it's like figuring out all those little quirks.
What about self-care routines and rituals? Do you have a favorite self-care?
Yeah, I always joke that I'm terrible at self-care and wellness, but I'm trying to get better over time. I mean, I think for me, I'm big on sleep. Like, I am a sleep person. I need 8 hours of sleep, otherwise I will be a monster and non-functional. So that's something that I'm pretty religious about in terms of like getting that 8 hours, especially on conference weeks, because it's just craziness. But also like knowing what you need as well. So like for me, it's like I always try to get in some sort of like nature moment. So it's like hiking, running around with my dog, and usually that ends up being on weekends. But for me, that's so important to be outdoors and all of those type of things. And then also just like, I mean, this is such a mom one, but like snacks. Like I feel like I'm constantly on the move. I'm always traveling to a new city. And that's something I kind of learned recently. And it was actually with the help of my team is carrying little snacks with you because we never know if we're going to have time to eat or be on the run or kind of, moving through stuff as quickly. And it's always kind of like a great way to kind of energy up in the middle of the day.
Well, what's your favorite go-to snack?
Okay, so I love RX bars. They're really good and they're super filling. And so that for me is like a quick grab, and then also any kind of nuts, like pistachios, almonds, that kind of stuff.
Do you have a favorite flavor on our RX bars?
So they have one, and I think it's like maple, it tastes like maple syrup, basically. So it feels like you're eating a pancake, but you're not, and it's amazing.
Cool. Now, what about time to work out? Do you have a favorite exercise routine, and how do you fit it in?
Yeah, I love SoulCycle. I'm definitely dedicated to that. I typically do it every Sunday at 9:30. Like that's my thing. I commit. I like sign up a week in advance. I get charged if I don't go. Like it really puts that pressure on going. So for me, and then also hikes. I live really close to Griffith Park, which is super nice, and my dog literally cries when we pull up because he's so excited to be there. So it's honestly just like the best feeling, even if I like don't feel like doing it. It's good for him.
Got it. So many companies are doing experiential conferences, things like Create and Cultivate. What would you tell somebody who wants to put together a big conference or event? What's the number one tip that you have or learning?
Gosh. How much can you deadlift? No, I'm just kidding. But running an event is hard work. I think people glamorize it, especially Create and Cultivate, are like, oh my God, I want to work there. And it's literally like we are in our sweatpants running around like psychos, like building stages.
I've seen it.
And I mean, you've seen firsthand. It is not a sexy business at all. Event production is 80% logistics, 20% backbreaking work. It really is hard to do well. But that being said, it's not impossible to do. I think, for anyone who wants to get into it, I think the first thing you have to think about is what is the experience of the audience? So as opposed to just getting the big names and having the cool flower wall, what is the experience of the audience from the moment they walk in to the moment they sit down to the moment they get lunch? And that is what I obsess over, is like every single touch point, and every single thing that could go wrong. Like my team literally like jokes, they're like, you're so negative, but I'm like, that's literally my job, is like, what happens if this overflows? What happens if we run out of lunches? What happens if we because you have to think about all the possible scenarios that could go wrong because people are giving us their hard-earned money. So I want to make sure they have an incredible experience.
Great, that's helpful advice. And then for staying healthy, what kind of food is your go-to? Do you have a certain way of eating that you go to, or like a certain go-to meal that you love?
Yeah, so my husband and I actually do something called Tara's Kitchen. I don't know if you've like heard of it. Yeah, we've been doing it probably, I honestly think, for like 3 or 4 years. And we do it like 3 or 4 times a week. It's basically a food delivery, but it comes unprepared and you're able to make it. And it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened to us because it's easy, it's pre-planned, it's pre-measured. So it's not like there's any waste, which I really like because I think sometimes we'll go to the grocery store and like just kind of our stomachs are are bigger than our eyes type deal. And like, we're just literally like grabbing a ton of stuff. And then like nothing makes sense. We're like, okay, so we have Cheetos, potatoes, and pasta, and we can't make anything. Cool. And you end up spending so much money anyway. But with Tara's Kitchen, they give you everything. It's a pre-portioned meal, and it's healthy. So they have a lot of bowls. So like brown rice, tofu, cilantro, kind of like easy, clean food, which obviously makes our lives easier and makes us healthier by default.
Great, and it's so nice to have it portioned too, so there's not a lot of waste and
Exactly.
leftovers.
Yeah.
What's your number one wellness tip?
I think my number one wellness tip would be know yourself. Because I think you look at what everyone else is doing, like, oh, they're drinking that green juice, oh, they're doing that yoga class. And I think it's really important to know what you need and what your body needs, because it's totally different for everyone. For me, I would say I definitely need my sleep, but I also need my exercise. But I also know I need to be able to just sit at home, veg out, and watch TV too, to feel good about myself going into the next week.